What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'd like to give you guys my thoughts on episode 1 of the new show Young Rock. And this is the show that chronicles the childhood of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, to be clear, I don't review every TV show that I watch. One of my absolute favorite TV shows is The Goldbergs. And I don't think I've ever done a review on any Goldbergs TV episode. I don't review every show that I watch. I review the ones that I feel like I want to talk about as I watch it. And for whatever reason, this is what I wanted to talk about. There was stuff in here that I think people are going to want to talk about. And the reason for that is because some of the things that this might possibly allude to in the future, but also some of the guests that are in this show. So first of all, let's talk about the future component. This show has The Rock in it. He's actually in it. And it is a future version of him who is running for president. I think the year's 2034. And he's running for president. And recently he came out and he said that if the people wanted him to, he would run for president. So yeah, I feel like we might be watching a version of the future in the past that might become the future. So it was all really, really interesting and kind of meta, self-referential. It was a good setup where he's running for president and he goes onto this talk show. I think it's a talk show. Maybe it's he's being interviewed by a news station, whatever it might be. He's being interviewed by Randall Park, who is former actor, now interviewing presidential candidate Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And during this interview, The Rock looks back on his life and he starts talking about his life. And I think it's a fictionalized version of The Rock's life that is inspired by real events. That's what I think we're getting here, is a fictionalized version of The Rock's life that has a certain smidgen of truth in everything. And it was really, really funny, just the setup. And then we get into his childhood, and this is the type of show that's a comedy. It's designed for our laughter. And one thing that The Rock did, though, was he took a critical look at his dad. And that's hard for anybody to do, especially in the context of a comedy. It would have been real easy to just make his dad this perfect guy. And they took a critical look at him. He wasn't always there. He was kind of an absent dad, kind of prioritized friends or co-workers over family sometimes. And we've all had those moments in our life where we've done that. We don't want to. We don't mean to. It's not like for instance, I've done it before. I've gone to work in an evening when I didn't have to work. There's just the opportunity to make some more money, or there's the opportunity to help out my school. There's the opportunity to do something. And I would take it, but I'm also going to sacrifice time with my family at that point. So we've all done that, but The Rock definitely looked at his dad in a critical way here. And like I said, that's a brave thing to do. It really puts him out there and it puts his dad out there, but it does not criminalize his dad. It doesn't criminalize his dad, because the reality is that we've all kind of done things that we could be critical of. Doesn't mean that we're bad people. It doesn't make his dad a bad person, but it definitely looked at his life in a critical way, which was nice. Obviously, The Rock still has love for his dad. He dedicated this episode to his dad. There's a lot of love there. But again, if you're really making a story about your life, it's fine to talk about those critical moments. And it's fine to also bring out the fun in those critical moments. There's definitely some comedy to the way his dad acted, and all that was fine. All that was fun, and I think it made the episode stronger. Did it make the episode any funnier? You know, some of the stuff that they addressed here, it wasn't for comedic purposes. It was for dramatic purposes. But it worked. It worked in the context of the show, and it made the episode stronger. There was a lot of stuff that was put in there for comedic reasons, though. A lot of The Rock's dad, a lot of his friends are famous professional wrestlers. One of them was Andre the Giant, and they had a really good actor there who was playing Andre the Giant. I don't remember the actor's name, but did a great job. Really funny, and he had a great moment with Young Rock when after Young Rock calls professional wrestling fake. Really good moment where Andre the Giant definitely took exception to that. So it was pretty funny. We get to see The Rock at various points in life. We see him as a kid. We see him as a teenager. We see him as somebody going off to college. We see those different parts of his life, and we see them in the context of one episode. But then by the end of the episode, when he's being interviewed by Randall Park, he then says, yeah, let's talk about some of this stuff. So I think we're going to continue to see The Rock in different phases of his life throughout the course of this season. It's not as funny as I thought it would be. As I said, it definitely paused for dramatic moments. So because of that, it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be, but it had a ton of heart. And because of that, this became a very good first episode that I'm now dialed in, and I will be watching episode 2. This heart that this show had, it made it infectious. It made it something I wanted more of, and it made it where I was like, all right, I gotta watch episode 2 now. This was good enough, I've got to watch episode 2. I kind of thought it was going to have Everybody Hates Chris vibes, but it really didn't. This was really something completely different. Randall Park was great in this. You know, he talks how, well, I was a former actor, and now I'm interviewing you. And it's great because Randall Park plays in WandaVision. And I think we're all watching. Everybody in the country is watching WandaVision right now. So when they tune in to watch Young Rock and they see him, they're like, hey, it's Woo. And even though he's only in it a couple scenes, people are going to want to tune in now just to spend more time with Woo. So it's brilliant casting. Guys, this was an enjoyable first episode. Definitely thought it was very well done, and definitely recommend checking it out. I think if you watch episode 1, I think most people are going to be a little bit like me. You're going to be dialed in, and you're going to want to watch more. So that's my take on Young Rock episode 1. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. While you're down there, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the Geeky Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.